another day of fun with Max and Rob. Here we are again in another chapter of the Beauty of Holland, Let Your Students, where we learn different ways to teach from the fans close to the children, the teachers.
Today we have a teacher who wants her students to manage various tools so that their knowledge is expanding and not staying in the traditional knowledge. Welcome, Helen!
Hello Max, hello Rose.
Well, sweetie, what is the teaching project that you have tried and will engage our viewers?
Okay, I will give you a brief introduction about my teaching project. My teaching project is for the subject of natural science, addressed to my 20 pupils. I have 20 pupils in my class of 6th grade of primary. I base my activity on ACAT. ACAT is the activity-centered analysis and design framework in which is intended to support both analysis and design complex of learning environments. I also base my activity on the decree of November 22 so that the specific competencies of this area could be developed in my activity. Well, I have created an activity in which my students have developed different skills and have learned how to use new original tools that will be useful for them in the near future. And for this, I have brought you a very special video that will explain my activity to you 100%. Okay, stay tuned for what will appear on screen.
Hello loves, I'm Elena and my project is called Healthy Lifestyle. If you follow me, I can show you how it's done. Come on. Hi, as I have told you before, to carry out my activity, I base my work on ACAT. With this, it has 3 dimensions that encompass all my activity.
Well, according to the set design, my children made a presentation with Genially, which is an app similar to PowerPoint but with many more innovations and tools that make their work easier. Then, after finishing this part, they used a blog created by the teacher, WordPress, in which they will include and will be able to express their opinion about the other presentations of her classmates. And as a last main tool, they used Padlet to upload their presentation through an URL with which they are able to return to them whenever they want. Also, they worked in the school with the computers in the computer room, which has everything necessary for this activity. Taking into account the social design and my class of 20 pupils, I divided the children into 4 groups of 5 pupils mixed together as I thought was fair. And I also chose a captain for each group who would be in charge of collecting the ideas they all liked the most from the other groups and write them as an opinion in the blog. And lastly, talking about the epistemic design, they had a presentation made by me as a guide to elaborate their project, and they had me by their side all the time to explain to them how the tools were going or any doubts they had. In addition to this, they knew the real objectives of this task, such as being able to develop their routine to be good and healthy. They would also learn to work with the college, to agree as a team, and to develop joint options, among other objectives, and that motivate them when performing the task. After mentioning how I relate on ACAT to create my activity, I will explain to you how actually I carried it out with some steps. Okay. First of all, I explained it to them by showing them my example, that is over here, how they could make the presentation in Genially and what should be included. In the presentation must appear 4 slides, which should include different ways of a healthy lifestyle. In slide number 1, must include how long they sleep, how much sleep they should sleep, and what to do to have a good sleep routine. In number 2, what they usually eat during the day, how to have a healthier eating life, eat more fruit, more vegetables, whatever. And then in the third one, might include how they manage their leisure time and how they could manage it to make it healthier. And in the last slide is the contact they have with nature and with the current global warming situation, what activity they would do to improve it, like litter picking on beaches, recycle, wherever. They had to present them to their classmates. They had to be paying attention to tell their captain which was the best presentation and why, and the captain had to write it in the URL of the blog, WordPress, that I gave them at the end of the class. Finally, when all the blogs were published, they had to upload their presentations to Padlet using a different URL that I gave to them. And there I evaluate their different opinions and their presentations based on the rubric you are seeing on the screen. Okay, now I will explain to you how I evaluate this task more specifically. You are seeing on this TV screen a rubric with the requirements I use to evaluate based on the specific competence that encompasses my activity, such as to post design problems to be solved with the creation of a prototype or digital solution, assessing the needs of the environment, and establishing specific objectives. Then, search, select, and contrast information from different safe and reliable sources using the criteria of reliability of sources, acquiring basic scientific vocabulary, and using it in research related to the natural environment. Use digital resources in accordance with the needs of the educational context in a safe and efficient way, searching for information, communicating and working individually in a team and in a network, reworking and creating simple digital contents, among other specific competencies that I use. Okay, you're probably wondering if this activity causes any difficulties, and yes, it does. Talking about general difficulties, when I did the teams, some of my kids, were like angry because some of them were close friends and the other were not. But this helped them to develop the empathy and get to know each other with all their classmates. And with the apps, we also have some difficulties, but I'm not going to answer you that. One of my students that elaborated this project is going to answer you that question. Hello, Kat.
Hello, teacher Elena. Hello, your students. That's true. As the teacher said, we have some difficulties. For example, when using Genially, as it was a new thing for us because previously we had only using PowerPoint. It was difficult for us to adapt when inserting photos, etc. But Elena was there to help us. Then, with WordPress, we had some problems adding new entries to the teacher's blog, but we knew how to do immediately as the application gives you that option in big and bold letters, and we were able to do it. With Padlet, however, we had no problems as it was very easy to upload our stuff once we had the URL. And that's all.
Carlos. See you in class. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, teacher.
Then, finally, talking about the added value of this activity, my children have learned how to solve several apps in a single task. In addition, with Genially, they have learned how to make presentation with moving objects and visually more attractive structures, and thus not stay with only one basic app like PowerPoint. Then, WordPress teaches them how to have permanently organized content, as you can always refer to what you wrote through the URL. And finally, with Padlet, they have seen that you can upload any content and have it stored without need to register or give your data, simply using a URL created by the teacher. With this, the children have managed to improve their PLE so that they can expand their knowledge using apps that they have discovered or have been forced to use, but in an educational and a cool way.
Wow! Thank you, Elena, for these explanations about a project that deals with new tools and make it possible for children to expand their PLE and adapt these apps to their daily life.
That's true, Max. The explanation didn't miss a single detail, and that's great for the teacher who see us day after day and want to innovate their classes or introduce new activities. Nice to meet you, sweetie.
Nice to meet you too. I hope to come back with another activity very soon. Bye.
And to all of you followers of Leader Students, I hope to see you tomorrow in another wonderful chapter. See you soon!
In part 2, I have choose the question 3. Please explain supporting your justification with a diagram 5 critical elements of this course that you would like should include permanently on your PLE. Based on the diagram below, I am going to make a brief description of the areas of the PLE taking advantage of these apps. That's all I already knew or have discovered in this course and have helped me to expand. First of all, Canva, my loyal friend. I already knew this app, but in this course I have learned to master it completely. With Canva I have done most of my tasks this year, as it has almost everything I need. And as you are seeing, I also use it to create new content. Then Google Drive and a piece of it, Google Docs. These two are also in my daily life. As you can see in the diagram, I use them to organize the content and modify the information. And with them, I create all my notes and store them. Then we have Padlet, which I didn't know about, and this course has helped me a lot when it comes to storing things without need to register and give my details to the network. In addition, my college could create comments, and in this way we exchange opinions about our work. And finally, ChatGPT is a new tool for everyone, but I have definitely included as it helps me to search for information quickly and correctly. Then I choose question 4. This question asked me what are the 3 areas of the DICOBENDO that I consider more relevant. First, I made this definition of DICOBENDO, that is, digital competencies of educators, which is a scientifically sound framework describing what it means for educators to be digitally competent. And I think the more important areas are Area 1, professional engagement, Area 3, teaching and learning, and Area 5, empowering learners. The first is professional engagement. This area consists of the ability of workers to use technology not only for teaching but also for communication with family members, colleagues, or wherever. This area has 4 competencies: organizational communication, professional collaboration, reflective practice, and digital CPD. What I have learned from this is that it's very important to involve with the times and to introduce technology in a safe and efficient way to education. Then the second area I choose is area 3, teaching and learning. This area talks about 4 competence: teaching, guidance, collaborative learning, and self-regulated learning. This area deals briefly explained with how the technologies improve teaching and learning strategies in many different ways. With this subject, I have learned how to design, plan, and implement the use of digital technologies in the different stages of the learning process. Finally, the last area I think is really important is empowering learners. This area talks about empowerment of students. It also presents the use of digital technology to improve inclusion, personalization, and makes the student want to investigate their own learning. This course, I have learned the importance of the active participation of students in conducting and productive sessions, and that the goal should be inclusion. This area has 3 competencies: accessibility and inclusion, differentiation and personalization, and actively engaging learners. Hi, now I'm going to ask what mark I think I deserve. This semester I have worked very hard, and this is why I think I deserve an 8, because I have kept all my assignments up to date, and I have tried to work as much as possible. But it's true that I have not always given a 100%, because sometimes there were too many documents and I could not focus my focus only on this subject. But even so, I have tried to do in all the tasks what was asked for, and with regard to my video, I have made it entertaining, clear, and concise with the required information, and that is why I think I deserve this mark. I believe that the most important role I have carried out is the facilitator role, as it is the basis for all tasks. Without a good organization, it is not possible to carry out a good execution of a task. From the other hand, the role that has been more difficult for me to carry out is the role of the analyst, as it is a role in which you have to be paying attention to your colleagues all the time to give them a good evaluation and to write about the week or during the formulary or whatever. This role requires a lot of dedication, and that is what I think is the most difficult.